All right, so why managing your cash flow gives you more freedom than any budget ever could, and perseverance and grit.
Budgeting is the talked about thing in personal finance, and it just flat out doesn't work. And it takes perseverance and grit in order to even make it look like it's working. Well, what if you use that perseverance and grit and focused instead on cash flow control? I love the concept of perseverance and grit because it's what gets us really good results in our lives. And if you can apply that in a forward momentum building way instead of budgeting, which is all about backwards, and you can have a cash flow control structure that enables you to have dollars that are working for you, that serve you the way you want your money to serve you, not based on anybody else's opinion, you'll get so much better results. Now, if you've just moved or you have a new partner or whatever, you got to do a quick budget. I get that. But from an ongoing standpoint, cash flow control is where it's at. And that is what you want to be seeking, and apply all that perseverance and grit to that. I talk about budgeting as a backwards spaced environment because you have to look at what you have been spending. Or if you have just moved, you have to look at what you think you're going to be spending. But then you're just always looking at the past. And it's really hard to make any changes about the past. And it's also really hard just in life to be backwards looking. There's a structure that creates cash flow control that is very forward looking. And the reason that cash flow control is forward looking is you know what's coming in, you know what your expenses are. There is a differential there. And if you are always focused on what that differential is building, then it's very momentum driving and it's very motivational, and you're forward looking in life and you're seeing what's building and what's becoming more and more possible because you're building this account, and you're just letting the cash flow control do its job. And you're not trying to nitpick and look behind the scenes for budgeting apps or whatever it is that you have that statistics have literally proven do not work.
Forget net worth. Cash flow is the true measure of who's really steering their finances.
The financial services industry is all about net worth. And so our instincts have said it's net worth that is my measurement. That's my measurement of success. Net worth doesn't put food on the table. Net worth is a nice number on a piece of paper. Rather than instinctually looking at that net worth number, you're so much better looking at your cash flow control numbers, because that is what drives our lives. It's what puts food on the table. It's what creates the ability to take advantage of opportunities, go on vacation, live the life that we want to live. And so if you'll just switch that instinctual, what's my net worth question, to an instinctual, what's my emergency opportunity fund? What's my cash flow control? What are all these things that are in the front of me that are going forward that actually affect my month-to-month life and then thereby my day-to-day life? You'll get so much better results.
How smarter cash flow choices can add $2 million to your retirement and put you in command.
Cash flow control is absolutely the thing that drives our lives. And there's a few smart choices that you can make that literally can make a $2 million difference in your overall financial picture. Think about this. We're paid typically 26 times in a year. Our income comes in. Our bills typically go out 12 times in a year. There's a very specific disconnect that occurs that enables us to, if we have a cash flow control structure, collect a couple of those spaces where those extra dollars can get naturally put into our pocket instead of just unconsciously spent. And shifting unconscious spending to unconscious saving can give us such a sense of peace of mind and control that really drives our finances and builds that motivating behavior that cause cash flow control and that structure to be the driving force instead of budgeting or anything else. And that driving force can get us that 2 million. So not only do we have this 26 to 12 disconnect, bonuses, tax refunds, extra money that comes in because of gifts or what have you, all of those, if those just get collected over your lives, it absolutely, in just a normal family situation, invested very, very conservatively, can be a $2 million difference. So if you're curious about how to make a $2 million difference in your family's finances, without having to worry about investing and losing money. Make these small shifts instead and develop that cash flow control structure so that you can get those extra dollars on your side of the table because of unconscious saving, whereas everybody else is unconsciously spending.
The 3 legal and personal documents that keep your family in charge for generations.
As soon as somebody turns 18, actually 13 in some states, which is mind-boggling, they want to have 3 specific legal documents. And so if your family doesn't have awareness of this, please know that these specific legal documents will keep that family in control in the event of emergency. It is a medical power of attorney, a durable power of attorney, and a healthcare power of attorney, often called a living will. And so there's a story in our space where a mother was not able to advocate for her daughter because she was 20 years old and had gotten in a car accident, couldn't speak, and the family didn't have these 3 legal documents, so they couldn't help get the daughter the care that she needed. And so please, as soon as your family turns 18, or again, check your states, sometimes it needs to be even younger, you'll want to get these 3 documents installed, because having these 3 documents enables you to be calm in a very chaotic space. More importantly, it enables you to be calm all the time, because you don't have running in the back of your head, what if something happens? What if something happens? Let that document be completed in such a way so that you can be calm all the time, whether your family's in a space of chaos or not. Human beings get so much good being outside. There's just a lot of statistics that are actually proving that being in nature is very, very valuable. And yet when we're in nature, it's interesting that sometimes things can happen. And so we want to have our digital information, because we typically have our phone with us, and our phone has all of our digital information on it, including our pictures, stored in such a way that if something happens, that data is protected. And so please think about how your family would deal with your physical phone if something happened, whether you're outside or inside, maybe not relevant, but I love the freedom that being outside gives us, and I want you to have that freedom. So figure out a way to pass on passwords to your family. Figure out a way to literally pass on that phone and all of its goodness to your family should something happen to you, so that you can be free, mentally free, when you're outside in those wonderful spaces of nature and the environments that just let us feel and think so big and so free, yet we don't want in the back of our head, what if something happens? Get that taken care of, and then it can be crossed off your list.